welcome to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. I'm your host, Caroline Georges, and welcome today. So I wanted to talk about, rape jokes and just my endorsement of them, of all kinds, and why I think they benefit women, why I think they benefit the conversation surrounding rape and rape culture, and talk about feminism in general, go into and talk about work and the importance of legalizing sex work. So I was thinking about rape jokes, and I even the ones that I know personally I would not enjoy, jokes that I might upset me, might trigger me, might set me off, might bring up bad feelings, those kind of jokes. I fully support them and I fully approve of them. I think they're good for me. I think it's good for me to be offended. I think it's good for me to be triggered. I think when I am triggered and when I am offended, it is a reason and it is an excuse that forces me to have to look within myself to understand what's going on with me and to understand where this upset is coming from. Because if I had never been raped, if I had never been sexually assaulted, if I had never been abused, I probably wouldn't be upset by those jokes. And and I want to get into a place where I am of a state of mind where I can hear a rape joke and not be upset. I think that should be the goal of every victim of rape and sexual assault, is to be able to hear rape jokes and not be offended by them and not be upset by them. So I worked at this coffee shop that ran an open mic, and so I was working the shift that had the open mic. And there was this guy who I guess is actually kind of legendary on the open mic scene. And this was before I ever started stand-up comedy or anything like that. This was years before. This was when I was still in school. And so this guy came in with like an entourage, like a group of his friends who didn't perform, right? But this one guy came up, and his joke was that he thinks rape should be legal on private property. That was the premise of one of his jokes. And then he said the joke was that if he had cancer, he would go out and rape as many girls as he could and then just die in prison. That was another joke that he said. This was in Hollywood. This was in a very liberal, very progressive environment. This was a room of many women who would not be, this guy was not speaking to his audience when he said these things, and it created a disturbance in this coffee shop, to say the least. But after he left, everyone stayed behind and was talking. People were upset, people were angry, people were, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Holy shit. Like, everyone was talking. Everyone was having a conversation, People were venting. People, like girls were there who were really upset, and they were venting and they were expressing themselves, and they were talking about why they were so upset by these jokes to each other, to other women. That's a good thing. Thank you. I appreciate that man for going to that open mic and saying fucked up things. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think, if you are a comic, if you are a comedian, if you are a writer, if you are a creative person, if you are an artist, there is so much material that you can create from rape. And I encourage you to try. If you can make people laugh at rape, then I encourage you to try. Please try. And, but it's just, one issue I have is that I hear so many feminists in Hollywood and in the industry, actresses, comedians, who say fucked up shit about women. And they say it while also claiming to be feminists. And I hate that it's those women that I can't criticize. Why can't I criticize those women? If these women are feminists, wouldn't they want to listen to me? Wouldn't they want to hear where they're wrong and where they can improve and where they can better the conversation? Why do I feel like if these women were in the same room with me and I were to come up to them and say, hey, when you talked about degrading a stripper on Jay Leno, that really upset me because I'm a stripper and because I have been harassed by women at a strip club and it's really upsetting. Once I was working at Deja Vu. Never go there. Deja Vus are the worst. Actually, I've heard they've gotten better. Anyways, I was working at Deja Vu. I was working at one of the Deja Vus, and these three girls. I went into the bathroom, and I was in a stall, and these three girls were in there, and then they saw me go into the stall, and then one of them went and banged on the door, and started asking me questions. And I was sitting on the toilet, and I didn't want to respond to these women. I didn't owe these women anything. I don't want to be harassed while I'm on the toilet. I don't want these women banging on the door while I'm on the toilet, being rude and being obnoxious. So I didn't respond, and then these women got really upset that I didn't respond to them. And they called me names and said I was being a bitch. And they were talking to themselves about me while I was in this stall, and they said I was being a bitch to them. And I got it, and they kept banging on the door, and I swear I was stuck in this stall. I didn't want to leave until those women left, and they were hanging out in this bathroom for a while, and I was probably there for 5-10 minutes before I could leave the stall. Do feminists want to see this? Do feminists want to see that women are really fucked up too? And while feminists are busying themselves with silencing men and other men and women that want to make a farce of rape, because, I don't know, like, without looking at what women are doing to other women, and without looking about how other women aren't helping other women. You know, and once I heard this comic say a joke where, and it's a joke, you know, but she's a feminist. And so when she's talking about jokes so the joke was that she thinks women, basically the premise is that women are obligated to give men blowjobs. And that when women are presented with giving a man a blowjob, the phrase was, lean into it, bitch. You know, men pressure women into giving them blowjobs all the time. Blowjobs, women aren't obligated to give men blowjobs. You know, and I wonder about this comic, and I wonder about this woman. Would this woman want to hear that criticism? Would this woman be there and sit with me and listen to me say, hey, there's a girl that works with me, and her boyfriend pushes her head down on his dick whenever she goes down on him and calls her names. Maybe lean into it, bitch, isn't the best attitude towards women when giving them blowjobs. Would this woman want to hear that? You know, I wonder. Do feminists really want to hear criticism about themselves and criticism about the movement, or do they just want to feel good about themselves? You know, Amanda Knox had this great quote. Amanda Knox went through, I think, almost 4 years of torture in Italy, of just total torture for a crime she didn't commit. That she was accused of because she was fucking weird, you know? That's all. That was her only crime. She was just fucking weird, you know? And because she was fucking weird, she was suspicious at the crime scene, and then she got accused of murdering her roommate when, when you look at the case, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. But Amanda Knox got some wisdom from that situation, and the wisdom is this. She had this great quote at the end of her documentary on Netflix, which, watch it, it's so good. But people want to know who the bad people are. It's people projecting their fears. They want to know who the bad people are, and they want to know it's not them. I want to know where I'm bad, you know? I want to be a good person. I want to be a good feminist. So I want to hear where I'm bad. And I see where I'm bad. And I see that I'm not a feminist. I have serious issues with men. And I don't think there's any room for that in feminism. So I have, you know, there's so many women out there who wouldn't think I'm a feminist. Who wouldn't think of that. Who wouldn't think that of me. You know, and you know, and it doesn't matter that I love women. Doesn't it matter that I don't want women to be raped? Doesn't it matter that I will do anything to make sure women are safe in sexual situations? You know, and I'm a big fan of comedy, and there was this comic who I really looked up to and I really admired, and she was a big inspiration to me for many years. And she still is, you know, but she disappointed me. She let me down. And it made me really angry. You know, it hurts when people disappoint you. It hurts when you meet your heroes, you know. It hurts when you see, oh shit, someone's not perfect, you know. And, but this woman isn't perfect. And this woman's feminism isn't perfect. And I think this woman's feminism fails sex workers and fails poor women. And I think she's proven that. You know, she went out and attacked the image of a poor woman a week after defending the image of a wealthy one. And you know, would this woman want to hear that from me? Would this woman want to hear me say, when you said that, I felt so betrayed by you, because I feel like when you speak for women and when you speak up for women and when you talk about women, you're not talking about me, you're not speaking up for me, and you're not speaking about me. You're not advocating for me with your feminism. And I thought you were. And you broke my heart. Would this woman want to hear that from me? And if women truly are to be feminists, don't they need to hear that from me? And women like me? Don't they want to help women like me? I hope they do. I really hope they do. I hope these women want to help me and women like me. I hope they do. But with feminism is a market. You know, the thing is with body positivity, going into body positivity, you know, you think Adidas gives a shit about fat women? You think Adidas gives a shit? No. They give a shit about selling clothes to fat women. And right now we have an obesity epidemic and so many fat women who need clothes, so of course they're going to market to fat women. They don't give a shit about body positivity. They don't give a shit about body image issues. It's a market. Feminism is the same thing. You can market yourself as a feminist and not give a shit about women, because it is a profitable market. Where women see that you are fighting for them and advocating for them, they will follow you. They will let you. They will align themselves with you if they believe that about you, even if it's not true. I don't want to profit from feminism. I want to profit from my experiences that have everything to do with feminism. Are women being immoral in the entertainment industry and in politics by using women as a market instead of using women as allies? Because sometimes whenever I hear, you know, these wealthy, progressive women talk about other women, it's like they're talking about other women like they're a specimen. They're not talking about them like they're their sisters, like they're their community of women, that we're all connected and we all have shit in common no matter what our backgrounds are, because we're women. I'm not a specimen. You can't study me. But you can stand behind me and support me and let me explain myself. And let me express myself. Stop studying women and start standing behind them. Stop ignoring women and start standing behind them. You know, and I just, I have been thinking about Rosanne Barr. Who were the women that came out and defended Rosanne Barr? And why didn't they? When difficult situations like that come up, when a elderly, mentally ill, drugged up woman makes a mistake, who stands behind her? Who was there standing behind her? Who were the women standing behind her? Because you know what? You're not fucking perfect. And I see you, and I see you saying the wrong things all the fucking time too. You know? You can't help it. We all see each other's flaws so much more clearly than we see it within ourselves. And oftentimes, you know, hypocrisy is so common because people tend to hate in other people what they hate within themselves. You know? But slut-shaming women doesn't make you less of a slut, you know? And one thing about strippers and about prostitutes, nobody will slut-shame you harder than a stripper. Nobody will slut-shame you harder than a prostitute. You know why? Because you're not getting paid. Why are you fucking for free? You know? And it's like, and so it's just all these perspectives. You know what I mean? All these point of views. Some of it's hateful and some of it's not, you know, but it's just like everyone has this point of view. And the fact is that I've heard so much slut shaming and so much hatred coming from strippers, you know what I mean? We're not fucking perfect either. You know? We have to be open to the uncomfortable conversations. We have to be open to questioning our own values and our own morals. We have to be open to questioning ourselves and to hearing people that might not agree with us, and hearing people that may offend us, and hearing people that may bother us and may annoy us. But if they're telling the truth and they're speaking truth and they're speaking their truth and it's in opposition to you, then that is what you should be hearing the loudest. And if you can't hear that, then there's something wrong with you. You're a coward. That's what's wrong with you. You don't want to be the bad people. You want to know who the bad people are. And as long as it's not you, you don't care. We're all bad people. We're all saying and doing bad things. I'm going to make the choice not to judge. I'm going to make the choice not to see a bad human being because they say something or do something I don't like. But everybody needs to make that choice. It doesn't matter if you're conservative. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal. Everybody is saying the wrong thing. Everybody is saying something offensive. Everybody is doing something offensive. Everyone. Nobody is fucking perfect. The most noble thing you can do is to just encourage the conversation, even if it's in opposition to you. Even if it's directly questioning you and what you're doing, you should never act in silencing someone. You know, because that was something, the guy who went and told those rape jokes that upset everybody at the coffee shop, he was banned from the coffee shop. He was silenced. That's silencing someone. Yeah, he was saying shitty jokes about rape, you know, but he was silenced. So now next week when another open mic happens, there's not going to be those conversations happening again. Women aren't going to be expressing themselves on how they feel about rape and about how that guy's rape jokes made them feel. Men aren't going to be there to listen to these women talk about how those rape jokes make them feel. It's not helping the situation. It's not helping women. Anyways, that's my vlog for today. Nobody's perfect. I am not perfect. But feminism, it's just, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just like, it's become like anorexia. It's like you're starving yourself. It's like, in order to be a feminist, you literally have to be perfect, and you can't be. You can't be perfect. So allow the conversations by allowing free speech of all kinds, and enacting in no way and silencing somebody and somebody's point of view, because I know I'm coming from a place of I've seen shit. I've experienced shit. And comedians and actresses say shit that makes me feel things, that makes me feel really bad. Would those women silence me? Would those women ignore me? Would those women have it that people ignore me? I wonder about that. Because I'm fighting so hard to have a voice and to have my voice heard that I think about that. Are people gonna silence me? Anyways, have a lovely day. Like and subscribe and share and enjoy. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely day. Bye.